So may I comment? May I comment, sir? May I say?
You are welcome. Welcome. Have a seat.
Okay, beta, introduce yourself.
So my name is Rifat Mantaha. I live in district Kulgam, village Jkpsc. I have done my primary schooling there in Kulgam itself, my primary and secondary schooling. And after that, I have done Bachelor of Engineering from SSM College of Engineering and Technology. And after that, I have even applied for MTech, but I have not completed that yet. And meanwhile, I was teaching in a coaching center also.
It is at
Okay.
Padespora.
Ji.
Do you know Dilla Afroz Qazi?
Ji, sir?
Do you know Dilla Afroz Qazi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What is
was
she there?
Registrar. She was there.
Is register?
Ji, sir.
He is register?
She was there. Vice
Not-
chairperson, VC, she was there.
She is a register or
Vice chairperson.
yeah. Please.
Okay. Since you have applied for this post, you appeared in the exam, so-called assistant registrar post. Now you will be hopefully appearing in interview. First of all, you tell me, ये जो है cooperative किस शेड्यूल में आता है अंडर इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, किस लिस्ट में ये आता है?
Yes, sir. Actually, it is in the state list.
It is in state list.
Yes, sir. Cooperative is in the state list.
State list.
Yes, sir. In Constitution, there are a lot of articles regarding it. It is, has been put in fundamental rights also, and part of DPSCs also, and
Which article precisely?
43B probably, and in fundamental rights that is in article number 19, subpart C. Sir.
Which amendment deals with this amendment
So-
under Indian Constitution?
97th Constitutional Amendment Act that has been brought in 2011, sir.
What changes were brought up by that amendment?
So actually it was that amendment added the part 9th B in the Indian Constitution and DPSP 43B probably, and that 19 subpart C in the fundamental rights, that is right to freedom to form associations, assemblies and cooperative societies. Actually it because of like it was when it was put in the constitution, so it was more stress was laid that there should be the proper organization, their funding should be proper, etc. So
Okay.
that was.
Is there any ministry which deals with
Yes, sir.
cooperation?
Recently, in the July 2021, Ministry of Cooperation was formed, and that is under the headed by Amit Shah.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's the
sure.
Union Minister for
Yes, sir.
Cooperation.
Yes, sir. Cooperation.
Don't you think that since now there is a ministry, central ministry also there,
Yes, sir.
will it impact so-called federal structures? Cooperative
Yes, sir,
per se comes in the state list,
Yes, sir.
but then there is now central ministry as well. Will there be any kind of impact? You
Yes,
can
sir,
take
there
an
was-
example. Kerala is the state who has been opposing this move. What's your opinion about it?
So I think that there was also a controversy because it is actually in the state list. So the laws on it should be made by the state itself. But when the amendment was made, it was done by the union government, sir. So there is a controversy, but still some parts are there, like the article 43ZR and ZS. They deal with the multi-state cooperatives and the cooperatives in the union territory. So it was said that
What do you have to say about two benefits if now, since there is ministry, union
Yes,
ministry as
sir.
well, and two negative impacts?
negative impacts will be the center-state relations, because it is when we talk about the federalism, then there is the complete sharing of the power between the center and the states, and here the center was making laws on the state subject.
Okay.
But the positive thing will be, sir, that it will be more organized and more focus will be on the cooperatives, and more funds may be available.
Exactly.
Because when it is a state list, so there may be the sufficient funds will not be available, but now it is in the central perspective, so that will be positive thing, I think.
You're from district Kulgam.
Yes, sir.
डिस्ट्रिक्ट कुलगाम में कुछ कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटीज के नाम बता दीजिए. या
Cooperative.
कोऑपरेटिव डिपार्टमेंट जो है वहाँ पे उसके अंदर कुछ सक्सेस स्टोरीज?
No, sir, I'm not able to recall right now. I will read on this.
Your subjects, computer science, bachelor's,
Yes, sir.
how it's going to contribute towards this post if at all you're selected?
Yes, sir. So because computer science right now is is a very vast subject, and everything is going towards the digitization, and I think every person should have the knowledge regarding the computer science and information technology right now, like cloud computing, database, and everything. So I think computer science will help me like that.
Sir,
What is the role of RBI in cooperative?
Yes, sir. So the cooperatives are actually regulated by RBI, Reserve Bank of India. Like how much credit controlling is also done by RBI. Mostly regulation part, I can say, is done by RBI. Actually, NABARD is an agency of the RBI because RBI was not itself doing it, and NABARD is doing work on behalf of the RBI.
Nation is today celebrating death anniversary, 74th death anniversary of whose?
74th death anniversary today is 30 January. So I'm not able to recall it properly.
Who shooted at Mahatma Gandhi?
Nathuram Godse. So,
Where from the river Jhelum originates?
River Jhelum, Verinag, Supreme Verinag, Anantnag district.
Who was the last king of Kashmir?
Last king,
Of Kashmir, local king.
last local king, Yusuf Shah Chak.
Exactly.
Yes.
Whom he married?
Habba Khatun.
Where is her grave?
That is in Pampore district, Pulwama.
Okay, Rifat, since you have done bachelor's in computer science,
Yes, sir.
so can you tell me what big data analytics is?
Actually, sir, I think it deals with the when we deal with a huge amount of data, because presently the data is considered as a very important fuel, you can say. So big data analysis is managing that large amount of data that we currently deal with, because sir, like we have, every organization has a large amount of data that they have to deal with. So big data refers to that, like cloud computing and info, like internet of things, sort of such technologies.
So, as you know that computer science mein quantum computing is the next generation of computers. So, can you tell me that quantum computing works on which physics or which concepts of physics?
Quantum physics.
Quantum computing.
Not able to.
So, what is neuromorphic computing? Do you know anything about that?
Sir, actually, being honest, I have done engineering in computer science and this, but I'm not much aware about that, because my focus or my alignment was always towards humanity subjects.
So, just now you said that role of RBI, among the role of RBI, they created NABARD for this
Yes, sir.
particular thing. So, what are the other functions of RBI?
Other functions. Sir, we know that it is the banking of the last resort to the commercial banks, as it regulates the commercial banks also, and it
Only commercial banks?
no, other banks also, so mostly banks, and it is the last resort of lending to government also, and it is the functionary that represents the IMF, International Monetary Fund, etc. And most important thing is the control of inflation or monetary policy formulation, etc.
So when was the Monetary Policy Committee, when it came into existence?
2016 maybe.
2016, on the recommendations of?
Monetary Policy Committee. Rangarajan Committee.
Ma'am, please.
Rifat, while giving your introduction, you said you were opting for MTech. You have applied for MTech.
Actually, ma'am,
So-
I have applied, but
Okay.
some uncertain conditions happened at my home, so
Okay.
I was not able to complete that.
Okay.
I have done 2 semesters,
Okay.
and that's it pending. I don't know.
So you don't have any plans to continue with your studies?
Ma'am, actually, I was preparing for case also. In
Okay.
fact, I qualified the case prelims, and then I appeared in the case mains also.
Okay.
But at the same time, I was not having guidance, and some uncertain conditions that I was not having the proper coaching and that proper guidance also.
Okay.
But I was always interested in this civil services itself. So I was not more. Yes, I will continue.
Mhm.
And I will get job, sort of some financial security, and then I will continue that.
Okay. You have written in your resume that your extracurricular activities are teaching, listening, songs and music,
Yes.
and little bit gardening. Can you explain this little bit garden?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Because although I don't get much time to do this, but I am very much interested in doing that agricultural work, sort of like growing vegetables also. I help my mother in that also, and we have apple gardens at our home, and I like to learn about that, like new varieties, what they are, and how that grafting etc. is done.
Mhm.
I am very much interested in that also.
Does your hobbies change with the passage of time? Does it switch from one hobby to another, or it's like consistent one?
No, ma'am. They don't switch actually.
Okay.
I have my own interests. Like I have written also that I like to watch geographical those videos also,
Oh, yes.
because they soothe me. Like whenever I feel depressed, I just it may feel awkward, but I watch the videos like volcanic eruptions and how those plate spreading and
So,
all that.
Does that
These
act
are-
as a stress buster for you?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Fair enough. Tell me about which schedule deals with the cooperative framework in the Constitution of India.
Which schedule?
Yes.
Schedule number 4, ma'am.
Are you sure?
It means schedule number 4 or schedule number 5.
You have to give me one answer. It can't be either this or
8
this.
minutes. Just give me one. Schedule 4.
Schedule 4.
Yes.
Tell me the historical significance of the cooperative movement in India.
Yes, ma'am. Cooperatives have been important historically also, because we know that when India became independent at the time or prior to that also, like
Is there any significance pre-independence era also
yes, ma'am.
with regard to cooperatives?
Yes, ma'am. Like at that time, the people were very poor, and the land was under the money lenders and all that. So cooperatives gave, and the not able to. Okay, the rural people were facing a lot of problems. Mostly they were poor, etc. And then they started an initiative. This cooperatives gave them a very important opportunity that like they can earn out of the by investing very little. Because in our rural areas also, like I am also from a rural area, so cooperatives have a large scope there.
You have applied for this post. Can you please elucidate what is the cooperatives? Like, what is the theme of the leaving aside this theme, what is the cooperative in a broader terms to layman? How
Okay.
will you make him understand this term cooperatives?
So I can tell that cooperative is a voluntary association of the people, like it is the assemblage of the people who are willing to pool in their resources, and who are ready to work for a common objective or to work towards the welfare of all. The profit maximization is not their ultimate motive, although they gain some profit also, but ultimately the welfare of the society is of much interest for them. So cooperatives act as a very good thing towards that. It maximizes the welfare of people, and it gives them an opportunity that they can pool in their smaller resources like that we have in the rural areas also. So this is and it can give them employment, temporary employment also, even if they don't have the much skill, they are not properly skilled. So I think that this is
You mentioned there is no profit maximization concept in your speech while this delivering. So if that is so how would you motivate the people to come into the cooperatives if you are saying there is no profit maximization concept?
yes, ma'am, because I think that this is very important thing, that because a lot of people are even willing. I told that there is no much profit maximization, but still then instead of wasting their resources, they can get the minimum of that. Like we have, I can take the example, like we have the surplus of milk in our villages, etc. So instead of wasting that, we can get something out of that also, and that can give us like temporary employment also. uh, so people will get motivated, even if they, even when they don't have the much skill. I am telling you, if the people have much skill, then they will hesitate, obviously.
Okay. Can you name that person who criticizes this Ministry of Cooperation by saying, quote unquote, this is an infringement of the federal structure of the state? Can you name that person who said that recently
I
while
have
forming
read
this
this.
Ministry of Cooperation?
Yes, ma'am, I have read this, but I'm not able to recall properly the name, but sorry, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, Rifat, you have mentioned teaching also as one of your hobby.
Yes, sir.
What are the three qualities which a teacher should have in order to deliver his or her best? Three qualities.
I think, sir, for a teacher to deliver best, that a teacher should be able to communicate properly with the students. There should be proper communication. And for me, as I have like teacher, I was teaching from since 1.5 years. So I think motivating students, there should be the motivation power in the teacher itself, because nowadays students are much aware. They are not so much ignorant, but what they are lacking is that lack of motivation. So teacher should motivate them, and teacher should have the proper communication skills, and teacher should be updated also, because updated knowledge nowadays is very, very important. We cannot stick to
This post, assistant registrar, do you know the job profile of this post? What are the tasks assigned to an assistant registrar?
Yes, sir, like assistant registrar have to do the, if registration of the new cooperatives, etc., monitor the working of the cooperative.
He or she doesn't deal with the issuance of registration.
Sorry,
It's
sir.
the higher authorities.
I think the merging of the cooperative.
At which level this assistant registrar works? Is it
Level.
at divisional level, district level, block level, UT state level?
Assistant registrar.
Yes.
So I think division level, district level.
Don't make guesses.
Yes, sir, I don't know. Sorry.
ठीक. One last question for you. You said you are interested in geography also.
Yes, sir.
What are the 5 physical divisions of India, and as well as for J&K?
Physical divisions. So firstly, we have the Peninsular Plateau, and we have Himalayas, we have northern plains, we have coastal areas, we have islands. Those are the ones.
For J&K?
For J&K, firstly we have the J&K Jammu portion, that is the plains of the Jammu, and after that we have this valley itself, valley floor, valleys, etc. And we have these Shivalik and we have those Karivas.
Fair enough. What's the mission of J&K Cooperative Department? Mission.
Overall, sir?
Have you ever visited the official website of this cooperative department?
No, sir.
Mission is given there.
Sir.
Okay, sir.
Who is present registrar of this society?
J&K?
It's Kashmir. J&K.
Kashmir. Shah. I'm not able to recall. Nirupa Rao is for Jammu, and
I am talking of Kashmir.
Kashmir University, sir.
No. Kashmir is
Department.
Department.
Separate for Jammu and Kashmir?
No, it is actually that is deputy. That is
She joined
deputy
there.
for Jammu.
Sir is asking something different.
Yes, sir. It starts with
Who is the registrar of cooperative society?
Shahbaz or Shah, something like this.
Okay, what is the hierarchy? What is the office hierarchy?
It's
in
Shafqat
the
Iqbal.
Shafqat Iqbal, it is.
Shafqat Iqbal.
What is the office hierarchy?
Because out of yes, sir.
What is the office hierarchy in the cooperative?
Yes, sir. First, we have the state cooperatives.
No, at block level, who is looking block officer? What at block level?
Block level, who is
Looking
overlooking the
after
cooperatives. Sir.
Uh-huh.
Assistant registrar,
At tahsil level?
maybe, I don't know, sir.
Recently, Padma Shri awards were awarded, and our state has also got 3 awards. Who got it first? Can you name them? Can you name them? Padma Shri, हाँ Padma Shri. किसको मिला है कश्मीर में?
Yes, sir. एक वो लड़की भी है जिनको पद्मश्री मिला है, चेस प्लेयर. शी इज, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर हर नेम. एंड सेकंड पद्मश्री.
अच्छा, गुलाम नबी आजाद सबको क्या मिला?
पद्म भूषण.
वो जो गुलाम नबी आजाद की मिसेस है उसका क्या नाम है?
गुलाम नबी आजाद
की मिसेस का क्या नाम है?
जी, उन्होंने वो सॉन्ग गाया है, उनका नाम है ये. Although I remembered all the names, but right now I'm not able to.
अच्छा. आर्य पर्वत को किसने बनाया है?
Hari Parbat Fort, Ashoka for the first time, and after that Akbar also.
अशोक ने नहीं बनाया.
आसिफ खान.
नहीं, अकबर ने बनाया, अशोक ने नहीं बनाया. It was built by Akbar the Great.
अकबर, ये कहीं पे पढ़ा है सर, फर्स्ट बाय अशोक.
Not Ashok. Not by Ashok.
अकबर.
And who has built Shalimar Garden?
शालमार गार्डन बाय आसिफ खान, जहांगीर. शालमार गार्डन was built by जहांगीर sir.
अच्छा.
No sir, शाहीजहां. शालीमार by शाहीजहां, निशात by जहांगीर.
यहाँ फर्स्ट इंडस्ट्री कौन सी है? फर्स्ट इंडस्ट्री, इकोनॉमिक इंडस्ट्री.
फर्स्ट
इकोनॉमिक इंडस्ट्री कौन सी है पहले? नंबर 1 पर कौन सी?
फर्स्ट इकोनॉमिक इंडस्ट्री से.
What is your opinion about silk factory?
Silk factory. Yes, sir. Silk factory was established by Maharaja Pratap Singh.
What are the other economic sources of JNK?
Other economic
Sources.
So particularly I can like horticulture is also there, important, and we have coal resources. Although we don't have much resources in the J&K, but still then some of them are there. And we have, in economic perspective, tourism is most important, and after that we have water resources. If we are able to harness the potential, and it will give a very important thing. Tourism, first tourism, and after that we have water resources. Also horticulture is also
Tourism is not first. Tourism is not first.
One of the,
but not first.
One of the most important things.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Can you tell me what are the Rochdale principles?
Rochdale principles. Yes, sir. There are 7 Rochdale principles given in 1844. First one is that first principle is that these cooperatives are the voluntary and the open associations. Like they are open for every person. There is no caste system. A person belonging to any caste, color, etc. can join the cooperatives. And after that, there is the democratic control, joint ownership and democratic control. Like all the decisions are taken democratically by every person, irrespective of the shares, has a single vote therein, deciding the things. And after that, we have the focus should be on the community development, some of them. And
Okay. Sir.
ठीक है बेटा, ये आपका जो इंटरव्यू अभी जो चीज़ें नोटिस की है, पहले मैं बता देता हूँ, आप भी सर शेयर करेंगे पॉइंट्स जो आपने ऑब्जर्व किए. फर्स्ट आई विल कम टू द पॉजिटिव थिंग्स जो आप में पॉजिटिव लगी, देन आफ्टर दैट व्हाट वर सम फ्लॉज, वो भी थोड़ा सा आपको मैं इन्फॉर्म करूँगा उसके बारे में. द वे यू, यस यू कैन राइट. ये आपने, अगर आपको किसी क्वेश्चन का आंसर नहीं आता है, यू सेड you are not able to recall it, this is good, this is good. Rather than bluffing the panel, this is good. You honestly confess that you don't know the answer. ठीक है, ताकि आपको वो दूसरा क्वेश्चन पूछे, रादर देन
Okay,
गेटिंग
sir.
स्टक एट वन, उसी पे डिबेट हो, एक तो गलत बोलोगे आप, उसी में सारा टाइम भी चले
Yes,
जाएगा,
sir.
दे विल स्विच ओवर टू अनदर क्वेश्चन,
Yes,
isn't it? That will be good for you.
Yes, sir.
And then you had a smile on your face, this is good. It should be in limited manner.
Little
ऐसा
bit.
नहीं लगे कि उनको नॉन सीरियस बंदा
Yes,
है,
sir.
आपने एक या दो बार स्माइल किया, दैट्स गुड, इतना ही ठीक है, ये रीजनेबल है, ठीक है.
ठीक है sir.
And whatever you are going to tell in your answer, they are going to pick from from those your words. जैसे आपने geography बोला, I have this this you are very much fond of watching these geographic channels, तो be very much cautious, हाँ, कि कौन से your choice of words should be good, ताकि वो कुछ questions वहाँ से भी pick कर लेंगे, ठीक है. And you should be then well versed in that area, ठीक है. And then coming to some flaws which were there, सर ने आपको एक क्वेश्चन पूछा था कि व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ मिसेस ऑफ गुलाम नबी आजाद. आपने वो नहीं बोला, आपने बोला उन्होंने एक सॉन्ग गाया है. Your answer should be very much relevant.
Yes, sir.
To the point.
What is
Yes, sir.
being asked, you answer that
Relevant
particular question
answer.
rather than giving some other
Yes, sir.
references. उधर भी जा सकते हो आप, but later on, ठीक है. Then एक दो बार आपने यूज किया ये जो आंसर में अपना probably. You are not supposed to make
Yes, sir.
guesses, ठीक है. guess नहीं करना वहाँ
Yes,
पे,
sir.
जैसे मैंने आपको बोला है, ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
Then coming to dress code जो आपका होगा ना, ट्राई टू वेयर प्लेन कलर रहता है ना, एक सिंगल कलर जो अटायर होगा उस दिन आपका,
Yes, sir.
नॉट दैट दिस वन जो जिसमें मल्टी कलर्ड वो
Okay,
ड्रेस कोड,
sir.
ठीक है, वो रहना चाहिए.
Yes, sir.
देन कमिंग टू दिस योर पैरामीटर्स विच आर इन फ्रंट ऑफ अस. नॉलेज आपका अच्छा है, ओवरऑल नॉलेज अच्छा है, कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल इज ऑल्सो गुड, एटीट्यूड ऑल्सो गुड. पर्सनैलिटी में, जब पर्सनैलिटी में मैंने कम आउट ऑफ 20 आई हैव गिवन यू 10 मार्क्स. पर्सनैलिटी में आपका यही आ जाता है, ड्रेस कोड भी आ जाता है,
Okay.
तो बी एंश्योर दैट प्लेन कलर, ठीक है,
Okay, sir.
एंड सटल कलर, नॉट दैट सो कॉल्ड ऑरेंज, रेड, येलो, वो नहीं पहन के
Okay,
जाना. ग्रे कलर इज देयर, ब्लैक कलर इज देयर, ये थोड़े वाइट कलर, ये थोड़े उसमें डिसेंसी में उसमें
Decent
ना, हाँ, उसमें आ जाता है. ट्रस्ट, टॉलरेंस, absolutely brilliant. So many questions were posed to you, but then you maintained your calm. This should be your approach for final interview as well. Okay, आप बोल दीजिए.
Better, Rifat, you have done well,
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
but you need to improve in general knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And you should be accurate to the question, answer.
So actually, I have not read much about the cooperatives. I was preparing for other exams meanwhile. I have qualified Jkpsc recently. I was preparing for Jkpsc exams. Because of general knowledge, I was able to do it. But my interview is on 22nd of February. So in this time, I will.
You will get lot of time. That's
पहले जब आप आगे तो आपका आई कांटेक्ट यू वुड लुकिंग एट द सीलिंग, यू हैव टू मेंटेन द आई कांटेक्ट एंड शुड बी हम्बल एज वेल.
Okay,
थोड़ा
sir.
हम्बल होना चाहिए. दूसरा आपका जो अगर आपको गेस भी करना है, हल्का कभी आइडिया होता है दिमाग में कि इसका ये आंसर हो सकता है,
Yes, sir.
सो उसमें आपको परमिशन लेनी चाहिए, कैन आई गेस.
Can I guess?
हाँ.
Okay, sir.
एंड देन आपके फैक्ट्स स्ट्रांग है, पर अंडरस्टैंडिंग कंट्रोवर्शियल इश्यूज और उसमें एक बैलेंस्ड अप्रोच रखना, दैट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट.
Okay, sir.
बाकी ठीक है.
रिफत, कॉन्फिडेंस वाज ठीक, बट डोंट बी ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट,
Yes.
ठीक है.
Yes.
जैसे सर ने बोला, स्माइल शुड बी मिनिमम. ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए दैट आप
बिल्कुल.
नॉन सीरियस हैं. डिपेक्ट समटाइम्स नॉन सीरियसनेस ऑफ अ कैंडिडेट.
Yes, sir.
एंड रिगार्डिंग अटायर, आई थिंक सर हैज ब्यूटीफुली एक्सप्लेन्ड. एक मोनोटोनस मोनोक्रोमेटिक थीम पे लेके जाइएगा, और डोंट वेयर स्पोर्ट्स शू, बी फॉर्मल इन योर अटायर, कंप्लीटली
Okay, sir.
फॉर्मल, ठीक है.
Okay, ma'am, sir.
एंड रिगार्डिंग कोऑपरेटिव्स, एज यू मेंशनड कि आपको और पढ़ने की
Yes,
ज़रूरत
yes,
है.
ma'am, that I know.
चेक देयर साइट्स, वेबसाइट, जो भी ऑफिशियल डेटा मिलता है उनसे पिक कीजिए, बिकॉज कोऑपरेटिव्स की नॉलेज आपको कम है. एंड रिगार्डिंग जॉब प्रोफाइल
I
आपको
know.
पता ही नहीं थी, सो दैट इज अ डिजास्टर. इफ यू आर अप्लाइंग फॉर, एटलीस्ट यू शुड हैव द बेसिक नॉलेज आप किस चीज़ के लिए अप्लाई कर.
Actually, sir, this is true that I don't know much about that, because
You have to read it.
prior to one day I appeared in the JSA exam and I was preparing for that itself.
That's
So
what
that
we
is
are
why.
we are suggesting कि आपको पढ़ने
Yes,
की
ma'am,
ज़रूरत
yes,
है
ma'am.
कोऑपरेटिव्स के बारे में. एंड डोंट मेक गेसेस. मतलब आप इधर दिस और दिस, ये चीज़ें, दिस अप्रोच डजंट वर्क देयर. यू हैव टू बी
Not
कॉन्फिडेंट. इफ यू डोंट नो, just
I don't
be
know.
fair, be honest. Sir, I don't know, I'm sorry,
Okay.
I can't
In
recapture
fact,
it.
they give you more marks if a candidate
Exactly.
honestly confesses that he or she doesn't know
Does
the
not
answer.
know
वो
the
भी एक आ जाता है, एक क्वालिटी आ जाती है, वो भी मैटर करती है.
And don't get haywire. Don't be haywire while explaining. आपका precise होना चाहिए, to the point होना चाहिए
Okay,
answer.
ma'am. Okay, thank you.
ये जेट के कॉर्पोरेट कोऑपरेटिव डिपार्टमेंट की जो वेबसाइट है वो विजिट कर लीजिए, वो याद रख लीजिए, वहाँ पे फंक्शंस ऑफ रजिस्ट्रार भी दिए गए हैं, मिशन भी दिया गया है, विजन दिया गया हुआ है। डिस्ट्रिक्ट कुलगाम जो आपका कोऑपरेटिव डिपार्टमेंट है, वहाँ पे कितने टोटल नंबर ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन इशू अभी तक हो चुके हैं, किन किन फील्ड में, इसमें हो जाता है ना एग्रीकल्चरल सोसाइटीज में,
हाँ,
तो ज्यादा पता है, और भी कोऑपरेटिव
हर
सोसाइटी
एक
डिफरेंट
सोसाइटी
एरियाज में वो अच्छे से
उसमें
कर
सारा
लीजिए।
गिवन है, या जस्ट प्लान विजिट टू डीआर ऑफिस, वहां से आप ऑफिशियल डेटा ले सकते हैं क्या अपडेट, क्योंकि अभी काफी चेंज आ रही
अभी
है,
वो time भी
अपडेटेड
है मुझे
अपडेटेड
अभी।
क्या है अभी, तो यू कैन गेट
चैलेंजेस
दैट
क्या
डेटा।
है वहाँ के, यू नो, कोऑपरेटिव डिपार्टमेंट के वहाँ पे इन योर पर्टिकुलर डिस्ट्रिक्ट, देन ओवरऑल यूपी, वो चीजें प्रिपेयर
sir.
कर लीजिए।
अपना डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोफाइल स्ट्रांग रखें।
Should be strong. Okay, sir.
ओके बेटा,
Okay,
थैंक यू,
thank you.
Thank you so
बेस्ट
much,
ऑफ
sir.
लक।
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you.